Hello everybody, it is John and Pippin who put up a bit of a struggle because he said I don't always senses when I'm going to do a video and decides that he doesn't wish to participate. Don't you? My producer who always lets me know what he thinks of what I do, don't you? Hey? Yes, he says it's Australia Day here in Australia, and it's a very wet day today, which is rather pleasing because it's raining on all the activists who decide to. Oh, is that what you think? Yes, that's what he thinks of the activists as well. He's not impressed with them either. People who decide that they don't agree with the Australia Day celebrations, and I don't see them as Australians. They prefer to concentrate on the inequities of things that have happened in the past rather than moving forward as a nation into the future, which is unfortunately very sad. So, but anyway, that's all I will say, except that I'm very proud to be an Australian citizen, and I am quite happy being here. So, aren't we, Pip? He says, yes, Dad, I am indeed. So what have I been up to? Well, I've been up to lots of things. It's that time of the year where, yes, I've rumbled out and annoyed my wife because I'm watching Grimm. Yes, I'm watching the Grimm TV series again. That's an occult detective fiction supernatural drama is what it's listed as. So I really do like that. That runs for 6 seasons. So we're actually in season 5, my wife and I, at the moment. We've just about finished it. Normally I'll watch Grimm at least once a year, sometimes more. I really like it because it's, for me, it gives me a lot of sort of background or inspiration for when I'm trying to write stuff for Call of Cthulhu or for any sort of pulp games. So yeah, I really do. Grimm is really, really good. If anything, if I had a choice between watching Grimm and Supernatural, Grimm wins out over Supernatural all the time. Oh, am I boring you already? Yes, Dad, he says. You're a very boring person. Yes, but he says, I still love you. Yes, and I love you too. So, books. Yes, that's all I've been doing, listening to books, because I've sadly not been well most of the time. I'm sadly sleeping half the day away. I know that I sound animated and not bad on these videos, but that's because I'm very good at acting, aren't I? God, yes. Who have I found? A new author, S.C. Stokes, and the series is called Conjuring a Coroner. Yes, I've taken quite a like to this, and there's a book 0 called A Date with Death, which I've yet to read because I only just found out about it. But I've read the first book and I've just about finished the second one. The first book is Dying to Meet You, which I quite enjoyed. And the second one is Life is for the Living, which I've just about finished. And yes, you guessed it, they have audios as well to go with them. So John's always looking for books that have audios that go with them because they just make it worth more, or there's more value in the books. So that is Conjuring a Coroner. And I really do quite enjoy that series. The main character is a lady, or a female, a woman. And it's really, really good. I quite like it. Yeah, really good. Now, the next series... Oh, you are being a very big sook, aren't you? Yes, the next series that I'm reading and listening to is by an author called Harmon Cooper. And it's called Cowboy Necromancer. Yes, I've been eyeing this one for a while, thinking, do I, don't I? It seemed a bit quirky, but I've just about finished the first book, and I did not mind it at all. It's certainly very different. It's a post-apocalyptic lit RPG game lit adventure. I think that's how they refer them as. So, yes, it's all about levelling up the characters and things like that. So it's a post-apocalyptic USA set down more in the the southern states. I think Texas. I'm not too sure. I'm not really up on most of the American states. I've only got a very vague notion of where everything is, but it's all about the main character, Sterling Monadero. I'm probably not pronouncing that right anyway, but he's a necromancer. And so there's all sorts of things: God walkers, killbillies, militia. Yeah, I quite like it. And penchant for chili peppers seems to be throughout this whole book. This concept of peppers. Yeah. So anyway, it's an interesting book. I quite enjoyed it. It was a different change of pace from my medieval whodunits, which have been my main focus of late. So the books in there were, the first book was Infinite Dusk, and the second one is Infinite Dark, and the third book is due out in May, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. What else is there? All right, you go make yourself comfortable there. So I have discovered a local. Well, I've known them; they've been around for a while, but I finally actually had some spare money, and I picked up some games from a local business called 2Die6 Games. So I really do need to give a shout out to them. They have been really, really good. So if you are in Brisbane, or even if you're not in Brisbane, they obviously an online. Oh dear, why am I going to sleep? They are an online store. I have found their service to be exemplary, so I do recommend them. So 2Die6 Games. What else has been happening? I have been very lucky and continue to find that there are people in the community who are seeking me out, coming over and playing some games with an old mad man like myself, of which I am incredibly thankful. And to those who've just joined my company, Sharita, Tony and Tim, thank you very much. And I have it has been wonderful meeting you and enjoying the company that the gaming brings. So look, thank you very much, and of course to everybody else who still comes round to keep this poor old homebound man entertained. I thank everybody very much for that. It might only be once a week, but once a week's better than no times at all. So yeah. All right. What else has happened? You'll find that there's a video somewhere coming along. I managed to pick up a copy of Escape from Colditz. Oh, so very, very happy. I've been chasing that game for a long time now. So sadly, it's not the first edition, which has got the unpopular swastika on it, but that's only because I wanted it because of its rarity and I guess the fact that it offends people more than the fact that it's because of its being a political statement of myself. That's no indication at all. I just wanted it in my collection because it was a first edition and what it had. So that tends to be why I do collect a lot of things, is that it's first editions or things that have suddenly fallen off. It's like why I like the first edition of Great Western is it Great Western Trail or Trails? They did a second edition and changed all the artwork and changed some other aspects because they reckon the first edition was politically incorrect with a number of things. So I'm quite happy with my first edition. Yes. Sorry, I don't give in to the political correctness crowd and will play a game based on the fact that it's a good game. Yes. And so should everybody else. Play the game for what it is. If you've got too much time to be worrying about nitty gritty little insignificant things that don't have much meaning to anybody but minority, well, maybe I shouldn't really say that. That's perhaps not quite right. There are issues that do need to be dealt with. However, they don't need to become the focus of everyday life to the point that the majority of people are inconvenienced because of minorities. But that's just me. So I'll probably get hosed down for that. That's nothing new. I always upset people no matter what I do. So, but yeah, so that's where things stand. I've continued to potter along. So that's pretty much it for today. I'll pop up his lordship, who's probably going, I was just starting to go to sleep, Dad. Are you finished for the day? He says, thank you, Dad. He said, thank goodness. He said, I can now go back to sleep. You finished doing your videoing? Yes. Dad's offended as many people as he can today? Yes. All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, signing off, the Honourable John.